If you've been to the expo floor of any cybersecurity industry conferences, you might have seen the seemingly unending rows of booth after booth. All of them will claim to help with cybersecurity, but in order to choose the products that would be effective in stopping data breaches, it is important to understand the basic categories and classes of data security products. Part 3 goes over the data security market. It explains why intrusion prevention, intrusion detection, and antivirus are not enough. It goes over the classic categories of information protection products, such as information rights management, data loss prevention, digital rights management, and a new category of product called data breach prevention. You don't see new product categories every day, so it should be interesting. Intrusion prevention products have classically blocked threats and contained their damage, while intrusion detection products have classically found threats and responded to them. Antivirus is specifically for looking for malware and stopping malware. A data-centric approach is needed to stop data breaches. These products that stop data breaches should focus on data regardless of the avenue of attack. For example, 0 days, malicious insiders, malware, or stolen laptops. In this example, IPS and IDS might stop 0 days, and antivirus might stop malware. But what's the point of all these products if the human malicious insider or even human errors can still cause data to be breached? A classic example is Edward Snowden at the National Security Agency. NSA probably had a lot of high-end technology to detect malware and stop zero-day exploits, but what about Edward Snowden? It was a very low-tech attack. He just took the data, copied it, and walked out with it. If NSA was using a data-centric approach, they would have been able to stop Edward Snowden. Information rights management algorithmically protects data through custom application-specific plugins. This means that the IRM vendor can only protect what they know about, leaving security gaps in the products that they do not know about and therefore cannot protect. A holistic information security solution should have compatibility with unknown software and unknown file formats, because not all the file formats in the world are known to or going to be known to an IRM vendor. An example is a hospital's custom medical imaging application, which could read scans from, let's say, MRI machines, and let's say the vendor has also gone out of business. Chances are that the imaging application was not known to the IRM product when the imaging vendor was in business. Now that the imaging vendor has gone out of business, there is a near certainty that the IRM product will not protect the imaging application. A generic approach that does not need to know about what it is protecting would have closed this security gap. Data loss prevention uses signatures to scan for sensitive data and often requires human analysts to waste their valuable time looking at repetitive alerts which may contain false positives and false negatives. In the cybersecurity space, human analysts are in short supply due to this cybersecurity skills gap, making human analyst time extremely valuable. Human analysts should be doing more important and intelligent things than looking at repetitive alerts, which can be easily automated by a security product. Ideally, there would not even be any alerts to look at. DLP can protect structured data, but not unstructured data. So the security gap would be that any unstructured data leaving the organization could possibly contain sensitive data. Even within structured file formats, steganography would be able to bypass scanning. Examples were given before in this course about steganography and in text, for example. Also, custom file formats and custom applications cannot be protected. That's the same problem as with IRM that we discussed. Finally, the phrase sensitive is not even clearly defined. An enterprise's DLP team can have many meetings about the definition of sensitive for their organization, but still not come to any agreement. Digital rights management is similar to information rights management, except that it focuses mostly on media files such as audio, video, and video games. Sometimes it requires special hardware and is usually not general purpose for all file formats. Data breach prevention is a new product category that is a mix of IRM, DLP, and DRM because it takes the strengths of all of these categories, but not the weaknesses of all three categories. It is better than IRM and DRM because it is independent of the application and file format that it's protecting, which means that it can protect applications that were not even designed to be protected by the DBP application. DBP is better than DLP because there are no heuristics, signatures, or alerts which avoid wasting valuable human analyst time on repetitive tasks. In addition, DBP is resilient to steganography because there are no heuristics. This is a Venn diagram overview comparing and contrasting the characteristics of DBP, DRM, IRM, and DLP. As you can see, DBP takes the strengths of all the other product categories, but not the weaknesses.